Welcome to If You Even Care. Thank you for being here. Yes, I'm a few days late, and I am, of course, $1 short. Typical of me. But I hope that you guys are having a beautiful day. Everyone except for Nicki Minaj and Amy Schumer. There's a lot more people on that list. I'm just gunning for you guys today. Today is dedicated to you. Fuck you. And I know that you'll see this because I'm sending it to you psychically. Fuck you. And fuck ICE. All right. And there's going to be links in the description for this episode if anybody has no idea where to start, who to call, what you can even do in this situation. And it's scary. I hope you guys are safe. It's important to stay informed. It's important to share if you're able to when you're seeing ICE, where you're seeing them. It can help a lot more people than you realize if you're able to share that information. We're watching a lot of horrifying things unfold in front of our eyes. I also want to say, I don't know if anyone will ever see this that this applies to, but if anyone has had to cut off family members over any of this that's happening and their own stances, being pro-ICE or being MAGA or whatever, I'm very sorry, and my heart goes out to you. I feel very grateful that my immediate family is not like that. The rest of my family, extended family that I don't see, that's a different story. But my immediate family, who are really the only family that I interact with and see, they're not like that at all. I feel very lucky and thankful, but I know that there are a lot of people, similar to when the Black Lives Matter movement was happening. Every couple of years, there's a really big movement where I think sometimes you don't notice that someone is slipping into MAGA territory or becoming more conservative, and then you can find out kind of suddenly. There sometimes are signs, but sometimes there's not. I'm sure that it's very scary watching a parent slip into that. I've seen people who aren't family members of mine, but they're parents of friends who, I knew them growing up and they were always the kindest person. You would never think that of them. And then you see what they're posting on Facebook. And it's very shocking. So, really, truly, my heart goes out to anyone who's been in that situation before or is in that situation now. Kind of along this same vein, in a way, I've seen a lot of people talking about the use of photo comments on TikTok. And I'm not one of those people who thinks, take that feature away. I like that feature. It would be nice to have the option to turn it off for some post. Because if someone is talking about the Epstein files, why are you posting that fucking hamster picture? Do you know what I'm talking about? The hamster, it was cute when I first saw it, but I've seen it so many times. That and the pink gun with the tumbler. Please reserve funny photo reactions for funny posts. What's going on? This isn't some people deal with things through humor. I don't care. It's inappropriate. It's insensitive. The victims that were named in the Epstein files may not be in the comment section themselves, but maybe other people who have been through similar things have been. Maybe they're looking through and seeing people. You can argue the comment that goes along with the photo is serious. That doesn't change the fact that you're putting a fucking Barbie reaction photo with your comment. Are we desensitized? Are we just looking for likes on the comment? We want to be the top liked comment. To me, it feels like if I came to someone and gave them some terrible news, I said, hey, I just found out that I have 3 months to live. And they went, womp womp. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Why did you want me? I believe you think that's terrible, but want? That's what it feels like. Imagine telling someone that you got laid off at your job and they went, tomato, tomato, tomato. Girl, I didn't even get a severance package. Oh my God, the Epstein files are fucking disgusting. And then it's a picture of has-been hotel. What are we doing? I just want that feature to be able to be turned off. I don't want it gone. Okay, now we're going to do a real hard segue into some other stuff, which is Love Island and Bridgerton. And I'm very sorry if you don't watch either of those shows. You might not be interested in this, or maybe you don't want spoilers. The next episode will have some other stuff. Nothing that I can spoil. I want to talk about Love Island first. And before I actually get into the season of All Stars that is happening right now, I just have a couple general thoughts that I had while watching All Stars, but it also applies to every season of Love Island ever. Allow me to refer to my notes. The kissing. The kissing is a big deal, and I'm not talking about the volume of the kisses. I don't know why the producers feel we need 8D audio of them making out, or why they ask the Islanders, can you put the mic in your mouth? Can you guys do that one more time, but put the mic in your mouth this time? Perfect. Really want to pick up the little bit of spit, the little, when you can hear the sound of their lips coming apart. Oh, we want to make sure we get that. That's gold. It's not even about that. It's about the way they're so thirsty for the kiss. The way they want the kiss so bad that it means like nothing. I think they want to kiss half the time because they want to be able to say that they kissed that girl, especially when it's All Stars. It's All Stars. It's all stars. They just want to go around and kiss all the pretty girls. They want to be able to say that they made out with this beautiful woman who everybody knows because they've already been on Love Island and they have an established following, or this beautiful woman. It just comes across like it's really just a conquest thing, and it's not about, oh, I want to test our physical connection. You can test it with more than a kiss. Do you like the way each other smells? Do you feel like you want to sit really close to one another? Have you held hands? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just think you want to test the physical connection so bad you genuinely like her. Take her hand and rub with your thumb that space between her pointer and thumb, like that, while you're sitting and talking. How does that feel? Does it seem like she likes it? Does she like you touching her at all? Or does she feel a little pressured to kiss? They're consenting to the kisses, but you can see in their face sometimes that they're kind of like, this is a little soon. But on Love Island, if you aren't putting yourself out there and getting to know other people, in fact, if you go on there and you only like one person and develop a connection with one person, you can get sent home for it. They'll go, well, you don't really seem interested in getting to know everybody. And they'll send you fucking packing over that. Every single game that they play, on All Stars at least, involves making out with each other. So kissing is a big part of it. They do know that going into it, but you can still see sometimes when someone is doing something that they wish they weren't. They're willing to do it, but it just doesn't look like they're having fun. And it makes me feel like I'm sat there right in between them. That's how uncomfortable I feel. And yet I keep tuning in, and that's on me. And yet I'm still watching it, and I'm caught up to this day. Which, by the way, if you watch Love Island and you're watching All Stars and you're waiting for it to come out on, I think it comes out on Hulu, a little while after, a few days late, go on Reddit. It's the Love Island ITV Reddit. And there's a link on the pinned post there that as soon as the episode is done and it's aired, somebody puts it in there. There's a link with all the episodes, and you don't have to sign up for anything or anything like that. Watch or through a VPN or whatever. That's how I watch it. So if that helps anybody. But it's just so uncomfortable sometimes. You want us to test our physical connection? Kiss me on the forehead. Let's see if I get a tingle. Let me kiss you on your forehead now. Tuck me into bed. I don't know. There just has to be other ways. It just feels like a conquest thing. And there's some really bad segues into kissing. It is really hard sometimes watching these guys lean in at the worst possible moment to try to kiss somebody. Literally going, yeah, I like how your dress is yellow. You know what else is yellow? And then they lean in to kiss them. What are you talking about? And hold hands first. That's all I'm asking. Show these women that you actually like them before testing that physical connection. I know that their time is limited. Can you kiss on day 3 maybe? This year, they had some people from Love Island USA come in. They're still all-stars because they've been on before, but it's the first time they've had Americans on Love Island All-Stars. They had 3 guys, 3 girls, and they went to Villa USA to like, you know, take a couple people over from the main villa, see if they found a connection with these Americans. Some of them did. They made some great choices, I will say. I think some people were expecting bigger names, like people that they are more familiar with. But if you're a Love Island watcher, you know who these people are. There were some face cards in there. Crazy work. But it's funny because watching it, you've got like UK Islanders and US Islanders mingling. And when I watch Love Island USA, I feel like, yeah, I'm watching like people that live in the same country as me. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. When I'm watching these 2 groups of people mingle, I don't feel like I'm from the US. I feel like I'm from the UK, and I'm like, oh, weird. There were Americans on? Me saying it like that, like in the most American way possible. Oh, Americans? Okay. Like, I don't align with them. I don't feel aligned with them. I feel like they're visitors in my villa. My UK villa. But the Villa USA idea is not really that different from like a Casa Amor, where they just bring people in and these people want to form a connection, both to find a connection, but also to stay on the show. Because without one, they're getting dumped. Casa Amor is famous for people being in there for like 2 days and then getting dumped. Because sometimes it's just about the thrill of a new person. And they don't realize that until they're back in the main villa with people they've spent weeks with. So you watch a lot of these guys, like, it's like a free-for-all. Jack's this redhead guy. His father's famous. I don't really know who he is. Maybe I've heard his music. For a second, I thought maybe he was the Rickroll guy. But I think I'm just connecting gingers. But he's got some famous dad. He was in Casa Amor, I think, for like a short time. He wasn't really like someone that people remembered. This dude is wreaking havoc. Just kissing on everybody, running around to all the girls in the Villa USA and trying to kiss everybody. And they're all beautiful. And he got quite a few kisses. And I don't like it. He's nice enough, I guess. I think I would just like to see Jack ask somebody for a hug. Just a hug. Or set out a nice little breakfast picnic for someone. Make them a gorgeous matcha and they sit together and talk for a while before he goes in and kisses them. Instead of just going around and sucking everyone's face. He's not the only one, but I'm the most bothered by his lack of effort. Every Casa Amor is the same thing. These girls are having all these guys coming up to them, trying to get a kiss from them, trying to, even worse, do whatever, trying to sleep with them. Love Island Australia is also really crazy for that because they do a hotel experience where these people like stay together. This like bombshell comes in, they talk for like an hour maybe, and then they have the option of taking someone and going to a hotel with them for the night. And shit gets kind of wild. It's not like the most fun thing to watch, but that's a thing. And everyone's just pushy. This isn't to say that you can't feel a spark with somebody and want to kiss them. Sometimes there's no fucking spark. And they're trying to make one with a kiss. Like it's a Disney movie. And they'll kiss and then they'll both float up into the air and spin around. And there's a talking animal. But they don't have a talking animal companion. And they won't float around in the air. They're just going to end up hurting that person when a day or two later they go back to the other person they were talking to. And they just wanted to get a kiss out of them. Which I think outside of the villa would be how they would treat women that they wanted to fuck. I think the kiss and run is just the one night stand. You know, the one night stand and ghosting. But you have to see them the next day. So all you get is a kiss. And they think, okay, well, yeah, maybe there will be a spark there. And then they go into the room with all the guys and they go, no, I don't really feel anything. I might kiss her again, though, just to make sure. I'm going to hurt you. Also, is obviously just the UK's literally. You know how we like to use literally a lot? Literally is like just a good filler word for conversation, but most of the time you don't mean that something literally happened, or it doesn't even make any sense to say literally, just a filler. That's how they use obviously. They'll say obviously and then insert like private thought that they haven't shared with anyone that wouldn't be obvious to a single person. Like they'll have gone and had like a secret kiss with somebody and they'll be like, obviously we had a kiss and obviously like, you know, we kind of like each other, obviously. Like they're using it about personal feelings that no one else could possibly be in on. They do that and they switch genuinely and generally a lot. I've noticed that too. I just wonder how much of that annoys other people. There are a lot of people in America who don't like the overuse of like. So I wonder if that's kind of the same thing for other people in the UK, if that's something that gets under people's skin. I just hear it so often on this show and other British shows. And also I'm guilty of the like thing. It's hard. I'm guilty of curse words and like as filler. And I hate that. And once in a while I'll go on YouTube and look up how to stop using filler words. And the first step is to stop. And that's not helpful. So I'm still working on it. Overall, to talk about the actual season of All Stars that's happening right now, the main conflict at the moment, really the biggest conflict so far this season, is this Love Island USA villa opened and they were allowed to take over a couple of people and everyone else stayed at the main villa. So while they're at the main villa, 2 people are starting to form a connection. Both of those people are in a couple. One of them is stronger than the other. Sean and Lucinda. Lucinda is, if you ever see her on Love Island, she just won Love Island games. She is going to ride so fucking hard for a man for no reason. Every time. I've always gotten the impression that she's a little male-centered. And I know that I'm saying that about Love Island, where the whole point is that you're supposed to find a connection. There's a certain way to go about it, though. I've never agreed with this idea of like, it's Love Island, not Friend Island. Because what are the odds realistically of you coming out of something like this with a solid relationship that's going to last? It's possible, it's happened, but odds are a lot lower than you coming out of there with some really good friendships, meeting some people who have just had this crazy experience with you. Only so many people in the world will ever be on something like Love Island. And that in itself bonds you to these people. Wouldn't you want to have friendships with them? If you're willing to go into it with that kind of an attitude, like fuck whoever gets in your way, you'll step on whatever toes you need to, whatever. I do think that says something about you as a person. You can go in there and try to find a connection and also not be spiteful or mean, and also make good friendships, make an effort with these other women that are in there with you, because you're going to see them. If you plan on being around, you plan on going to parties and doing brand deals and whatever, you're going to see these people. Some of them could be good friends. Others are going to be more like coworkers, but you still want to get along with them. So I don't understand that. And I think it's so phony. In Lucinda's case, she just won Love Island games not that long ago. She went so fucking hard for whoever she's coupled up with. She did the same thing in her season. She's doing the same thing now. Too hard for a guy that you've known, really actually known for like 48 hours. But her and this guy, Sean, have an undeniable connection. Something crazy. Just a wild spark. So Sean's partner is who he's coupled up with, Belle, is over in the USA villa, and she is just thinking about him. She keeps telling the guys there, listen, I'm going to see what happens with Sean. I'm not kissing anybody right now outside of a game or a challenge. I want to give it a fair chance. What he does is what he does. What I do is what I do. Fair. People are watching in the main villa, these two getting to know each other, and knowing that when Belle comes back in, she's going to fucking snap. Belle on her season went off on this guy Anton because they had like something where the guys were allowed to leave the villa. I think they were going to buy gifts for the girls they were coupled up with, and he flirted with a cashier, and that got back to Belle. Belle tore him apart in front of everybody. Everyone knows Belle advocates for herself. she's going to fucking snap when she finds out that Sean couldn't keep his hands to himself for 3 days. They haven't kissed yet, though. You know, which is like 5th base on Love Island. So they haven't had a kiss, but they are laying all over each other. Lucinda does that in general. Lucinda goes over to whoever she's talking to. She goes over to Curtis, who they brought into Love Island for the millionth time. I don't know what's happening. I actually feel bad for the guy at this point. Go home, man. He's like sobbing over a connection that didn't work out. He was only talking to this woman for a couple of days. It's just sad, but they're friendly. They know each other from outside of the show, I think. Or at least that's the impression I'm getting, is that they're very familiar with each other. Every time she goes over to talk to him, she's like sitting on him in reverse cowgirl. He's like cradling her like a baby. Like she's just on top of him every time they're talking. They're laying all over each other, her and Sean. Everyone knows that when Belle comes back in, she's going to fucking lose it. In fact, when she does come back, the two of them are up on the terrace telling each other how much they have feelings for each other. And Sean's like, yeah, I'll take care of Belle. Belle takes care of him. She finds out immediately because the girls run up to her and give her a heads up. And she's already pissed. So by the time she's talking to Sean and Lucinda, she snaps. It turns into this whole, like, it's been going on for days now, where she doesn't want to talk to Lucinda because she's like, you're fucking fake. The only reason why you did this is because you're bored. You were bored. Lots of people were gone. You were still here. Sean was here. He flirted with you and gave you attention, and you went for it. Sean, same thing applies. Pretty girl gave you attention. You couldn't help yourself. And I agree with these sentiments. I do. I do think that probably is what happened. But now they have to develop a it's us against the world kind of mentality, which you always love to see in a couple. Some real like Joker and Harley Quinn shit. Now it's just everyone against them. And no one could possibly have a little bit of a point in that, hey, Lucinda, that was kind of messed up. Hey, Sean, maybe you should have waited till Belle got back. Had an actual conversation with her. Maybe you guys could have gone about it a little more respectfully. It's perfectly fine if the two of you have a better connection. But there's a way to go about it where maybe you don't have to hurt as many feelings. But they just couldn't help themselves. They can't help it. They're already talking about being boyfriend and girlfriend. That's the biggest red flag here, is when you hear them talking, they go off to the secret garden, which you can only go into if you're not coupled up with that person, and they're not coupled up. They're just talking to each other, and they're all over each other and going, yeah, I mean, you know, I already know I'm going to be a good boyfriend. And she's, yeah, I'm going to be the best girlfriend. And she also has the equivalent of like a Valley Girl accent, but British. I know that it's common for people to drag their words out sometimes. I kind of like that. But she does it excessively. That's what I feel like it is like a Valley Girl accent, British style. Bella's upset. They're doing this shit right in front of her. But she's upset and angry. And she's been fucking snapping. And she's got Whitney and Leanne to calm her down and tell her to relax and just keep her in check, which is good. Great friends. Whitney especially is like trying to tell her, chill out. Like, I think she's trying to, without saying it directly, tell her, be mindful of the cameras. You're not wrong to be angry. Anybody would be in that situation. But if you drag it for too long, or if you do too much, people are going to start calling you a bully, or they're going to start calling you a mean girl. Even if you're justified in how you feel, if you do too much, you're going to get labeled and it's going to be bad for you when you leave. That's what it feels like. It's like, hey, you're not wrong for feeling this way, but you do have to rein it in a bit. They are starting to dogpile this girl, Lucinda, a little bit. Every game they play is just spin this object and see who you're going to kiss. Pick someone in the group and ask them, how many people have you had sex with? And then make them arrange all the men from tallest to smallest and kiss them. Yeah, do that. Truth or dare. Truth. Make out with every guy here. Dare, kiss 3 guys at the same time. Lick the tongue of the islander that you think is the hottest, and then spit on the face of the islander you think is the ugliest. That's what it feels like we're watching. I have a few moments where I look at what I'm watching and I go, I could have picked anything else. But I'm in it. It feels like seeing old friends, even if most of what I'm doing is watching those old friends make out with each other and cry. Make out, cry, make out, cry. They don't even have them do challenges on All Stars. I don't know if it's because they're like, you guys did your time. We're not going to make you put food in each other's mouths. I hate that fucking challenge. You can't tell me that's not some fetish shit. I can't say fetish shit. Fetish shit. Doesn't sound like two words. That's definitely a fetish. They have to go from one end to the other, putting everything, spitting like jam or milk into each other's mouths and then spitting it into a glass at the end. I fast forward through those challenges every single time. I know who that's for, and it's not me. It's not me. It's for perverts. Biscotti, what if you don't clean yourself on camera? At this point, the Belle, Sean, Lucinda situation needs to end so other things can happen. Scott and Leanne, Lucinda was trying to say that she thinks that they're the fakest couple. I like them together. I just think Scott is fumbling so hard right now by still trying to stay open this late in the game. And to be very clear, I don't throw around the male-centered or pick-me allegations lightly. We've seen Lucinda before. I don't know her on a personal level. Very few people in this world do. But the way that she's handled this situation kind of speaks volumes. The way that she talks up all the men and not so much the women. The way that she's so confused and butthurt about the fact that Belle's upset with her. I don't like it, and I want her off my screen. To be very honest with you, get Sean the fuck out of there. I think he's even more into her than she's into him, but he's still an idiot, and he handled it so poorly. I just want them gone. Bella's sitting and talking with Sean and finally giving him a piece of her mind, telling her how she feels about everything. Lucinda comes out and just stands there near them and watches them. And Belle goes, "Can you fucking walk away?" Anyway, let's switch gears now. Get into talking about Bridgerton, part 1 of season 4. Benedict Bridgerton. Let me talk to you. I need to talk to you. I'm not mad. I'm not mad, seriously. I'm not. I just want to have a couple of words with you. Would you mind if we speak for a moment, privately? Spoiler territory, obviously, because I've seen all 4 episodes, and I give you guys a couple of days to do the same. I couldn't post both because I'm being psychologically tortured by my neighbors, but also because I want everybody to have some time. Benedict. To ask Sophie to be your mistress. Knowing what that would mean for her. You are well aware of the fact that you're asking her to be in a relationship that could cost her everything, on top of the unfair power dynamic of your family being her employer. I like you, Benedict. I liked you a lot more when shirking responsibilities was just a cute, quirky thing that you did, and it didn't have real implications, not taking care of the Viscount shit, which would have real life consequences. But this is Bridgerton, so we go, oh, he's just drawing eyeballs. He's busy. He's drawing. His mind is preoccupied with fucking. He can't think about helping out the Viscount. He wants to go fuck. That's his hobby now. He draws, he fucks. And it was cute. They love that whole reformed rakes make the best husbands thing. I would like to see one of them not be a rake. It would have been nice. I know that wasn't in the cards for Benedict. These books were written before the show was a twinkle in Shondaland's eye, and I know that. But it still sucks sometimes. It's the whole, all women are the same. Goes back to drawing eyes. Will I be your mistress? Will I be your mistress? Give me a day to think about it. I need to talk to Penelope. we are going to write a story. I know you like him. Oh, he's your brother-in-law, whatever. She got to write about Colin. She got to be like, oh, Colin's back in society, performative male. Why is he dressing like that? Talks all weird now. Doesn't seem real to me. I think that Sophie should get to do that. Dear gentle reader, rake is not a strong enough word to describe this hoe, Benedict. She gets to write one scathing little piece about him. The fact that this season has me kicking my feet and giggling and blushing and also furious means that it's a really good season, in my opinion. I love getting to see Violet. I just like seeing older women getting to appreciate themselves and having a sex life. I like that in anything. And I love that for Violet's character. Her looking at herself naked in the mirror for maybe like the first time in a long time, like really looking at herself and getting to lay with a handsome gentleman and getting to see more Penelope and Colin, because they just had a whole season and I feel like I barely saw them together. I don't know. They had to spend half of the season being weird towards one another, so we didn't get a lot of them, so that's nice. And all of this is leading up to Bridgerton's big gay moment. It's coming, and it's on the horizon, and I'm very excited for it. Violet has been blessed with gay daughter, thought sons. I feel very sure of the fact that part 2 is going to make up for it, and that we're going to end up loving Benedict again. He'll do some grand gesture or whatever that's going to make us like him, or tragedy might strike. Something will happen where he'll be back in good graces. But for right now, I'm going to spend the next couple weeks pissed off. I'm pissed. I love Sophie. That might be my favorite love interest. That's very difficult. That's very hard for me to say. I am, to my core, Canthony. Canthony all day, every day. But Sophie's up there for me. That's one of my favorite characters that we've seen on the show ever. I know, as far as the Cinderella story aspect, that it's supposed to be like, I think it's a mental thing. So Benedict has like this idea of the lady in silver, and then he's got Sophie, who he's attracted to and really likes, and he's can't quite connect the two of them just yet, but it's like the lines are starting to blur a little bit, I think, but he won't fully let himself drop the fantasy. He's starting to come around to reality, which is that the only way he'd be able to be with Sophie is if she was his mistress. And they already gave him an out with the like, I can't even really remember what her voice was like. Okay, sure. Oh, he doesn't remember anything. It's just the lips. And he won't look at Sophie's lips, even though he's kissed them, and see what he's supposed to see. Because one, he probably wrote her off in his head of like, well, she's a maid, so it couldn't be her anyway. He's not even going to bother. And two, he doesn't want to, because he still wants to keep this fantasy going. Isn't that the whole theme of it also? On top of the Cinderella story, it's also class differences and like fantasy versus reality. And the reality is he couldn't actually be with Sophie as it stands right now. I need Sophie living a good life, a good cushy life. And I need Benedict to develop that same Colin Bridgerton kind of state of mind where he would never have a mistress ever. How did Anthony marry Kate? They weren't on the same level. I'm getting really mad at you, Benedict. Give me my slipper. I said give me my slipper like there's someone here to hand it to me. You're pissing me off. How did Anthony make it happen? Am I missing something? Mistress is crazy. I'm going to give you everything that you deserve and even more. Just be my mistress. I'm loving the looks this season. I like that they dialed back the makeup a little bit, just a bit. I think that needed to happen. Not that anyone's watching Bridgerton for historical accuracy, although man fucks around and does whatever he wants. Woman suffers. How's that for historical accuracy? And then here comes Alice in a classic 2016 Halo Eye Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, some birthday makeup. But she is meeting the queen, and the queen is very extra, so I'm letting her slide. That's the only reason I could think that they would do that look in that moment, was like the queen is a lot, and she likes to go over the top with her hair and her looks and everything, so they wanted Alice to do the same thing since she's going to be the new lady in waiting. Still just weird. It just felt weird to see. I'm just mostly bothered about Benedict not connecting the cadence. Like, I know Sophie was like, no, we never met. No, we've never met. But the cadence, like her... I need part 2 right now. They do this that we'll talk about it and they can drag the whole thing out. And if you signed up for Netflix just to watch one time, now look at you, you have to sign up a second time. Well, guess what? I don't use Netflix. I have a computer. I have an internet browser. I'm not fucking paying Netflix. I use Flixer, girl. Flixer.sh. That's actually what it's called. I'm not paying you. So just give it up. Come on. I think a lot of people aren't paying you guys anymore. Just give it up. You're not tricking anybody. If you guys are watching either of these shows right now, I would love to hear your thoughts. And the next episode, like I said earlier, we'll talk about something other than TV shows for people who just aren't on TV and iPhone all the time, like myself. So, especially Love Island, that's such a commitment. I just watch it while I'm working, so it doesn't feel like I'm watching an episode every single day. I know that I am, like 6 days a week, but it feels like it just flies by because it's just not something that I'm like, I sit down in front of the TV and like cue it up. I'm just watching it in the background. But I would love to see what you guys are thinking of this. And I don't know. I guess I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.